Here's Johnny.
Welcome to my world, bitch.
Hi, I'm Chucky, and I'm your friend to the end. Heidi-ho.
And when you're down here with me,
You float down.
Like scary movies?
Uh-huh.
What's your favorite scary movie?
What up, happy Wednesday, film fans. Welcome to a new episode of Friday the 14th podcast. I am one of your hosts, Juan, and I'm joined by the guys.
Hi, I'm Franco.
Hello, my name is 4K Bad Guy.
What up? How's everybody's week been?
Another week, another dollar.
Joyful.
Joyful, that's good to hear. That's not sarcasm, though, is it?
Not at all.
Good. I'm glad. It's been a good week. For everybody out there in podcast land, thank you for listening to a new episode. We were supposed to talk about Under Paris today, which was a Netflix shark movie. But kind of digging in a little deeper, I was like, let's kind of switch that mode. Wasn't really feeling it. Let's talk a slasher. We've kind of been on like a little slasher gig the last few episodes. So let's not talk about let's not talk about a shark movie and talk about I Still Know What You Did Last Summer. So
I was getting the vibe that you saw it, and then you're asking everyone else if they seen it. Like, oh shit.
I did not watch it.
You watched it.
I did not. So I did not watch it, but what I did do is on recent watches on another podcast of mine, it was somebody else's recent watches, and they dogged it the entire time, and I was like, I can't put these guys through this. I don't know if I want to do this or not now. I was like, I could just imagine the conversation if we watched it and we was just like completely terrible.
Well, your Switch was actually a good Switch.
Not for one person. No, it wasn't a good switch for another person who's involved in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Franco, you shared this earlier today. Bill Cobbs, the guy who played Estes, passed away today, which is insane. That's now the second
Actually,
time.
I think he passed away yesterday, but the news came out today.
That's the second time I watched a movie, and like in the past few weeks, and like literally days later, somebody in the cast died. But I was like, dang, I wonder why my Instagram was like popping after I posted I Still Know What You Did Last Summer. I guess that's why. But yeah, if you guys did not join us last week we talked all about bed rest. All the links to that episode is all on the social media. If you want to listen to that podcast, you can just search the Cine-Men Movie Podcast, and that'll pop right up. You can listen to it wherever you want. Wherever you listen to podcasts at. To watch it, you can watch us live on YouTube, on the Amisawa Productions YouTube channel. Instagram is all one word, Friday the 14th podcast. Or you can also search on social media at Amisawa Productions. Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, anywhere. So all those links to the podcast, videos, everything is all on that social media. So Franco, we're also well. Else also can we find you?
You can find me at Wrestling Tacos on Instagram, X, TikTok, YouTube, all the other fun stuff. I post clips of wrestling stuff happening.
Nick, what about you? Where can we find you out besides your house?
Besides my house, you can find me at the 4K Bad Guy. I post some tasty pics on there.
Exquisite,
tasty pics. We have a fun summer top 5 list that we're going to talk about a little bit later on. But before we get on to that, do you guys want to recommend anything that you guys maybe have watched movie wise or non movie wise the past 7 days that you want to recommend anybody?
7 days.
I haven't watched any movies, but if you used to be into wrestling and you're not anymore, you should get back into it. The stuff they're doing with Wyatt, with Bo Dallas, the Wyatt Six, and everything has been fantastic. This episode of Rock shows real good as well. And then Jacob Fatu made his debut Friday, which is another member of the Bloodline, who has 7 kids.
Mm.
It's like, damn, this story's never going to end.
Nope. it has been a solid week of wrestling. Even NXT was really good last night. Um, it's like, man, they're just on a hot streak, and I think the WrestleMania documentary comes out on YouTube today or tomorrow. Finally,
Next
the
week.
rest next week.
Yeah.
It's just been it's been a really good week in at least WWE wise. TNA's been okay. I haven't watched AEW, so
Oh, we're live right now during AEW every week.
we actually have more viewers right now than AEW does. So we're doing something right.
Another recommendation: if you have IWTV, if you watch independent wrestling, tonight at 9, in less than an hour, at the top of the hour, Texas Indie Showcase 4 is airing, and we were there live on Sunday, and it was a solid show. So check that out if you have IWTV.
So, like the show you guys were there, is that the one airing tonight?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, cool.
Like 11 matches, I think. Yeah.
Last week you mentioned something about a backyard show. Did you go to that one? How was that?
Yeah, it was Friday. It was solid.
I bet it was hot.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah. It was more in the evening though, so like it started like around 7:30, so it started cooling down by the first hour.
Oof.
It was a long
Man.
show though, unfortunately.
What about you, Nick? You have anything you want to recommend? You get to check anything out this week?
Busy weekend, but what I saw was, of course, the movie we're reviewing today. The first one. Went back and rewatched that. Of course, I watched some in 4K.
Of course.
Of course, magnificent. And then I guess right now I'm watching this live podcast called Friday the 14th podcast, season 7, episode 7. I still know that last summer.
There we go.
Man, 7 episodes?
This season has went by really fast.
Damn.
Yeah. It's been fun though. Same thing, Nick. I rewatched 1 and 2. To recap my thoughts, we'll talk about those a little bit later on today. And then I rewatched Killer Clowns from Outer Space. It's always a fun rewatch. So, but today, since we are less than a week, we're about a week away actually from the 4th of July. We're talking about a 4th of July horror themed movie. Why not talk and make a list? You guys know me. I love lists. I love top fives. So let's talk about our top 5 favorite barbecue items. All right. I don't have any like honorable mentions. Nick's cracking open his all 5. Look, that's his number 1 right there. I'll start first. My number 5 is I think you have to have ribs or some kind of like meat, but preferably ribs, whether they're drenched in barbecue sauce or dry rubbed. Uh, Especially for a 4th of July barbecue, I gotta have some ribs. So that's my number 5.
I'll go next. I'll piggyback off you. Number 5, I put ribs as well. I love ribs.
Nick,
I will give you a red rib now. Also, you didn't put a whole lot into this list, to be honest, but I'll just give you a fun item. Get some because it's hot outside. I think we should enjoy hot chips. More preferably hot Cheetos. Flaming hot.
that's what I'm talking about. Gotta have some kind of chips. And you know that's funny you said that because that leads into my number 4. Doesn't matter what kind. If it's a barbecue and you got so many people, if you got to hit up the Great Value chips, you got to get the Great Value chips. But that's my number 4 is chips. Franco.
No, number 4 is gonna be a pool. It's hot,
Oh,
summer, Texas. I have some water to cool you down, and for the kids as well.
nice little swimming pool action. Nick?
You know, some it should be. It should be. Gosh. Mm. I'm gonna throw a good sausage in there. Did I have that?
You gotta have some sausages for a cookout. I agree. Number three for me is gonna be like any kind of salads, like a potato salad, macaroni salad. Uh, it doesn't matter. Something cold to counteract the meat. So that's what I'm going with. Is any kind of salad for number three.
My number three is you need some type of entertainment, so some wrestling.
Some wrestling.
People watch sports during barbecues or stuff like that. We watch wrestling, whether it's a new pay per view going on or an old SummerSlam '05 or something. Wrestling.
Hell yeah. And that's pretty cool this weekend. I mean, Fourth of July weekend, they're kind of interrupting, Fourth of July with Money in the Bank this year. So that's pretty cool. I like how they're doing that. Um, Nick, number three.
Number three, you gotta bring some tunes in. So you bring in that Bluetooth speaker.
That's a good number two. That's a good number three. Number two for me is going to be any kind of tasty cold beverage that has to do with the word beer. So that's my number two.
My number two is also tasty and cold, but it's not beer. It's Dr Pepper. Need to have
Uh-oh.
the fridge stocked with Dr Pepper.
See, now we're getting into the thick of things. Nick's palms are sweaty. He's like, I don't know what to do.
My knees weak, arms heavy.
So cold. We both had cold beverages. Number two, Nick. What's your number two?
My number two. You said cold. I really thought I'd throw in some popsicles in there.
That's true. You got to have something to suck on.
Excuse me.
So all of our number twos were cold. Number one for me is it's kind of self-explanatory. Nick, you explained it. You gotta have music, man. Food, music, drinks. That's it, man. Number one is the music. If you have a bad DJ, man, it's not gonna be a fun barbecue. So that's my number one.
My number one is you can't self-explanatory as well. You can't have it without it. Family,
Oh,
friends. You can't have barbecue alone. So family, friends, people that have grown to be family. Fast and Furious, Vin Diesel, family.
family. That's true.
So Fast and Furious marathon.
Yes.
Got it.
All 10.
All 10.
Don't forget Hobbs and Shaw.
Oh, I can't forget that. That's the best one.
Don't forget Spiral. Wait, wrong franchise. And until next week, guys. All right. Number one, it doesn't even have to be like for like outside barbecue. I mean, it's the way of life. Honestly, you should take it everywhere. So my number one, if you haven't guessed by now,
Oh, look at you.
sorry, but it's suspense for the audio listeners. Dr Pepper, of course, the number one.
The number one. There you go. 23 flavors, ice cold beverage. I swear, if we can't get them as a sponsor soon, what the hell are we doing, right? If you guys want to play along, where you're watching this on YouTube or listening to this out in podcast land, hit us up. Social medias, send us a message. Even if you got these guys' phone numbers, my phone number, send us a text message. What is the one item that you just have to have during your barbecue season? So let us know. But now we can get into what we're talking about. It is not under Paris. Again, if you were just dying to listen to us talk about that, I'm sorry to disappoint. Today we're talking about I Still Know What You Did Last Summer, the sequel to I Know What You Did Last Summer. I didn't pick the first one because I noticed you guys talked about it way back when, I believe.
Season 3.
Yeah. Damn, Nick, you got a mind like a fucking leopard, man.
Was that on the episode?
You're not on the episode.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. So I remember.
Um, so I picked I Still Know What You Did Last Summer. Um, the murderous fisherman with a hook is back once again to stalk the two surviving teens, Julie and Ray, who left him for dead, as well as even more murder and mayhem this time around at a resort island. Starring Jennifer Love Hewitt, Freddie Prinze Jr., Brandy, Mekhi Phifer, Muse Watson, Bill Cobbs, Matthew Settle, directed by Danny Cannon. IMDb has this at a 4.8. Rotten Tomatoes is at 7%. The Metascore is at 21%. The Letterbox is at 2.4 with the release date of November 13th, 1998. This had a $17 million budget and only grossed $40 million. So man, I did not, going back and rewatching this, I did not think it was that bad as everybody else is saying it.
It came out in November, and it was a 4th of July movie.
Yeah, November 13th.
What the fuck?
Yeah. It did come out a year later, so they didn't have much time to put things together. So, but yeah, it came out exactly a year later, a year and a half later than the first one. So, man, Nick, do you remember the first time you seen this? Are you in love with these two movies? And what was it like revisiting it for the podcast?
And love sounds it's a strong word to use there. First time I can't really honestly remember. I mean, I was a kid watching this one. Then I didn't know the title of the movie. I just remember the fisherman's hook. It's like this is cool, and then the whole rain vibes you see in this movie.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a nice watch. Into the 90s slasher vibes.
Oh yeah. What are you, Franco? Was this the first time watch or?
I believe this is my first time watch because I remember the first one, seeing the first one on TV a lot, but this one no, I remember seeing it all, and it just wasn't the vibes.
Wasn't the vibes.
Wasn't the vibes. Wasn't the vibes I was hoping for.
Yeah. I grew up on these two movies. Seen them since I was like 7. Loved them. I've always wanted to talk. I talked about the first one on my podcast. I've obviously listened to Nick. You guys talked about this way back when on your podcast as well. So I was like, the second one's not getting, nobody really talks about it. So, but yeah, rewatching it, I kind of had the good feeling about it, but some stuff was off. But
It's my cat and dog. My bad.
no, you're good. But yeah, let's get into it, man. I kind of had a lot of like some small issues about it, but I want to hear from you guys as well. Like, I love the Catholic Church opening where she's obviously having nightmares. The first one ended on a nightmare where he's in the showers with her, and then the second one picks up just the same. She's having a nightmare, and she's in the Catholic Church setting. She sits down, confessions, and the guy's obviously him, and he's like, "I know what you did last summer." So she wakes up screaming. But what do you guys think of the opening? You get reintroduced to Julie. The past events traumatized her, obviously.
Wasn't a good start to me. I was on my phone within the first 5 minutes.
Oof.
Yeah. Although I will say the opening was not of the movie, but the credit scene. I don't know what it was, but the tiger. It was like black and white to reveal that tiger. I thought the movie was in black and white. I was like, what the fuck? So.
And it starts off in the first one as well. Same transition. It's a nice lead up for a sequel. It's showing that she's still going through the same shit even a year later. So hasn't left her. I think it happens a little bit further on in the movie. I like how they bring up the cliffhanger, whatever, in the first one up. I was like, yeah, it's clearly a dream or a nightmare.
Yeah, and this one does a lot of stuff too, as far as like maybe that's good or bad, but they bring up the past cast members about how they died, and you even have the picture of Sarah Michelle Gellar in the 4th of July parade. So like it really wants you to kind of feel for her, but the two things I don't kind of like about these movies. In the first one, you know it's the guy they ran over, but you just don't know if it's the young guy or you know they play with that. In this one, you flat out know who it is, so there's kind of no guessing game. Uh, there's not really like no big who done it with this movie. Did that affect you guys, Franco? With this being like a first time watch, since you kind of already knew who it was, did any of that stuff bother you? Like, do you like to be guessing throughout the whole movie, or because like you kind of knew who he was already in this movie?
No, I don't think it bothered me really. I remembered I haven't seen the first one for so long. I think that's what's gonna make my opinions differ from both of y'all, since I didn't see it back to back. But what I remembered was the same person. So
Later on in the movie, they kind of teased that maybe Estes had something to do with it, or Brandy's boyfriend, which is something kind of interesting to play with looking back at it now, because in the past Scream movies, it's usually always been somebody Sydney knew or who was around her, and they kind of teased that in this movie where Julie was like, it could be what if it's you, they kind of do flirt with the idea that it maybe isn't the fisherman, but like I said, it's just flirting. Speaking of cast members, what do you guys think of Brandy? She's the new best friend sidekick in this movie. Um, Not a big Brandy fan or Moesha fan from back in the day, the TV show. I thought she did okay in this, but to me, she was definitely one of the weaker parts.
she's my least favorite character.
I enjoyed Mackay Pfeiffer as well. What about you guys? I thought he's always great to watch.
Took me a while to like, oh yeah, it's him.
Tip.
It's like what the hell?
One of my other biggest gripes is I know his parts weren't as standoutish as Julie's, but I wish Freddie Prinze Jr. would have had a little bit more scenes in this movie. He's always somebody I kind of enjoyed in this franchise. I guess, well, sequel. It's not really a franchise, I guess, right?
Mm.
Not yet.
It's 3 movies
Yeah,
and a canceled TV show
yeah.
and an
But
almost reboot.
well, next year the reboot it's in pre-production right now.
Why?
They're doing the whole requel thing with Scream.
Is this
So
still under Kevin Williamson, or did he like leave on part two?
I think that's a good question.
Part one was I think it was Kevin Williamson.
Yeah, Kevin. Yeah, he was part of the first one. Um, but yeah,
Uh,
what do you,
to go off what you, I mean, the question, whatever. Um, I'm kind of glad they still stuck to the it's the guy that you carried on because I mean I don't think it really would have worked if you done gone the screen route. Silly. But there is, I wouldn't say a big twist, but it's a little. So yeah.
no Kevin Williamson in this movie. He did not write it. He just wrote the first one. Um, I didn't realize looking back and doing some research for this. I didn't realize the how much negativity this movie got. 7% on Rotten Tomatoes. I don't know about that. That's pretty low. Um, but yeah. Would you guys? Another thing I didn't like is the whole radio station called Brandy to give her a chance to win free tickets. I'm like, come on, there's got to be a green flag or a red flag right there.
It's like the filmmaker there. I just assumed like, oh well, people are not really into geography, so I'm not gonna take notice into that.
And you get the
So
you get the guy who plays the I want to be your boyfriend. I'm here while your boyfriend's not here. Matthew Settle plays Will Benson. Who, spoiler alert, this movie is almost 30 years old. If you guys have not seen it, we're 25 minutes in. He ends up being the accomplice, and he is the killer's son. So, what about you, Franco? Since it was technically a first time watch, did it kind of throw you for a loop?
Honestly, throughout this movie, my mind was like everywhere else.
Oof. He's like, we should have went with Under Paris.
Honestly, I was like thinking about watching that movie after. Like, I was like, how bad could this movie have been? But then I was like, yeah, probably would have been pretty bad.
But yeah. What about you, Nick? Did you enjoy the side piece who was trying to be the side piece throughout the whole movie?
The side piece, the son.
Yeah. Will, he was trying, man. He was trying too hard, to be honest with you.
So what happens? You can't be a tryhard. We already know Freddie Prinze was gonna come back. I'll say that the whole movie. Yeah, I do agree. It lacks Freddie Prinze in it. But even when the scenes that showed him, I I'm just laughing that he just all the movies with the messed up arm, and he's like going to pawn the ring he had for a gun, and then he goes on to like try to get like a boat ride to the island.
That was a pretty good scene, though. I agree. I at least, what you guys' opinion, when his friend dies in the truck, when they pull over and Freddy goes to check out the body, and the fisherman, gets his friend with the hook and drags him out of the truck. I thought that was a pretty cool scene.
Yeah, I like the way he pulled him out. That's like one of my, I guess, if I had to choose some kill scenes. That was simple but cool.
Yeah, if we and you know what's funny about this whole thing is like, it made me think of Randy's sequel rules in Scream 2. The kill count is always higher. The kills are like a lot better and more intense. And like, man, the kills were more intense in this. You got to see a lot more blood in this movie than you did the first one. The guy getting pulled out of the truck. Jack Black's death. What'd you guys think about Jack Black's death with the hook in the hand and then the gardening tool in the chest?
I like that
That was,
one.
that was a pretty cool kill scene.
Also, I don't care for Jack Black, so I like him dying.
No, I mean
God.
I like the kill, but I think it was just too. I was like it's too comical for me, especially knowing Jack Black's whole filmography and whatnot. I was like,
He didn't even get credited for this. Like, I was looking for him throughout the whole cast, and he's listed as uncredited. And I'm like, man, he had some pretty. I at least thought his maybe a little too much comedy, but I thought he had some pretty funny scenes in this. Trying to get him high. There's
Yeah,
the jacuzzi scene where he's looking over at Brandy like, damn, and then he's like, oh, it's all good.
he had like a decent amount of scenes in it.
Yeah. So
he wanted to be unlisted for this way. On
probably
credit.
yeah.
Wasn't my best work. Don't put me in it.
Yeah. We'll go ahead and talk one segment real quick, just because to me, I don't think there's any competition here unless you guys want to debate.
He's gonna say it.
Huh?
Freddie Prinze Jr.
I mean, she's right there.
You mean he?
Yeah,
We'll go Jack Black. We'll go Jack Black. Those dreads were something else.
Right there. Yes.
Yes. And I also like. I'm a sucker for soundtracks, so I thought the score was cool. But the '90s music, like they used some Brandy tracks. Jennifer Love Hewitt had a song in there. I dug the soundtrack, man. I don't know about you guys. I just maybe it's because I grew up and I was like 8 years old when this movie came out, and I remember all the stuff. But I thought it was dope. I don't know about you guys.
Mm.
Yes, I did find myself saying that a lot through this movie.
But if we're answering the questions, yes, I would.
You could
As
say
much as I would love to say Freddie Prinze Jr. obviously, but I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go Jennifer Love Hewitt with this one. I mean, give her her flowers this time around. Going back to the first review, I went with Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Yeah.
I think it's because I mean, at least in this movie, Love Hewitt's hair is better in this movie. I wasn't really a fan of the other hairstyle she had in the first one.
Yeah, she was more like a depressed, straight-haired, her hair was like real greasy looking in the first movie, and
Greasy looking.
yeah.
I think there's like a line. I think her mom tells her like, "You look like death." Yeah,
Oh yeah, Ryan Phillippe in the movie said you look like shit run over twice, and I was
Mhm.
like, damn, that's harsh. And we don't need to give Jennifer Love Hewitt her flowers. We need to give her the whole goddamn flower shop, okay?
of course.
Yeah. Uh, man, what you guys think of? I
The
like
tanning
to
bed scene.
run away with it, Nick. Go ahead and lead it. Lead into
that,
that
that,
scene.
that, that's where you're
Lead,
going. You're leading up to it.
lead into it. Go ahead, talk about it.
Well, since I already brought it up, I mean, I'm trying to think of other movies that did that. Wasn't it like Final Destination 3 that also did tanning bed?
Did it?
Um, I believe so. Just the idea of being trapped in a tanning bed, it's it's crazy. Also, what was it zip tied?
Yeah, zip ties.
I was
Those
like,
damn
how,
zip ties.
When they
just like
came in to like help her, like they didn't think to turn it off.
they were like, what's he doing? Obviously, only like something sharp to cut that zip tie.
There's a lot of plot holes in this movie when it comes to stuff like that, like turning it off. Yeah,
They used what, a dumbbell?
yeah. They used a dumbbell to break it off, break it open.
They go and do it.
Yeah. Um,
He put the zip tie on there pretty fast too.
he did.
He's had some practice.
You know, you brought up the um tanning bed scene. I gotta say the scene where she's singing, doing the little karaoke, and then she sees on the computer screen, "I still know" or something like that. I'm like, she can sing to me any day.
Mm. I volunteer tribute. No, but, I was trying to figure out is one of those is it her just saying things or it might just be obviously. I mean, it's put there, and I'm not even sure the people around her even saw it. I don't think so.
Yeah, that's another thing. It did make it seem like maybe she's just being haunted, almost like not necessarily a ghost, but maybe is she just being extra? Because she's got the scenes where she supposedly sees him in the nightclub, and then some of the scenes where she sees him on the island before the jacuzzi scenes and stuff, and it's like, man, is he really there stalking her, or has he been on the island the entire time? What do you guys think? Because Estes, rest in peace, says that he has been seeing him lately on the island. So it's like, man, maybe he's been on the island the whole time waiting for his son to bring them to him. I don't know.
I think
Yeah, that would make sense.
it
Yeah.
was a partner duel thing going on there. It's like, but you probably to watch like a video on YouTube who did what, like
Yeah.
they would do with the Scream movies.
Those are good videos too, by the way. I wish, uh, well, not wish. I like how detailed they were when you finally get to the middle and the ending, when his little loft, his little hideout was right above Julie's bedroom the entire time. I like how detailed they were, where he's technically been keeping an eye on her the entire time. They talk about the lore of the fisherman, how he used to work there and live there with his family. Wife was cheating on him. She went missing. He had two kids. If anything, if they ever try to do something like, I would like to know a little bit more about like a prequel, like the fisherman's past, like what made him snap and what made him really like a psycho. I thought that'd be pretty cool. At least I liked the detailed way they explained his past in this movie, and they didn't spend too much time on it. Quick little 2-minute walk to the gravesite. Estes explained it. Boom, you got his past out of the way.
To be called the prequel last summer.
Yeah. I'll always remember you each summer. Some shit like that.
I was that the third one? Always remember.
Yeah, what was the third one, Nick? The third one is called "I'll Always Know What You Did Last Summer." Have you seen the third one, Nick?
I watched it only once. It's a bit.
Don Shanks plays the fisherman.
Don Shanks isn't that the one who did Michael Myers in Part 5, I believe,
Is it really?
or I believe so. Could be mixing them up. No, yeah.
Hmm. It looks terrible, by the way.
What
Got,
is?
got a comment from South Texas Collectibles. What's up, fellas? What up, man? How you doing?
What up? Yeah, it looks terrible. And
Terrible.
that one came out in 2006, straight to video horror movie.
Yeah.
I have it on my Vudu. I think I wanted to watch it one day, so I bought it for like $3 on Vudu. I don't think I'll ever watch it though.
I have that 88 films box set, and of course it's region B, so you can only see on region free Blu-ray player. But yeah, I have it that one, and I think whenever they released "I Still Know What You Did" on 4K, that's when they did a Blu-ray release. I'm like, so we're just gonna get that 4K or what? Despite it being shit,
Mm,
might as well go, right?
yeah. So, um, we can kind of get ready close to the ending since we talked about the how they kind of uncovered like his past. Um, what about what'd you guys think about when Estes hit Will with the paddle? And you're like, what the hell's going on? Will is being attacked by this Jamaican guy. Because at the time he didn't really reveal that he knew what was going on. He just knew about the fisherman and the two kids, but he obviously knew that was his son. So when I first watched it, I was like, "What the hell's going on? He's the accomplice."
Yeah, trying to get you like, no, maybe he is the bad guy after all. It's why he looks. It's why to use that boat. He's like, what did he say? I'm not leaving or something like
Yeah,
I thought he
he's
was,
that.
he was trying to dip out. Like, peace.
All right, I'm gonna head out. No, but then he just
I gave y'all his backstory. Now, peace.
because that was like a few minutes after he did the whole. You saw his room and they found all those stuff like the voodoo stuff, which is like okay. And then I started thinking, I was like, man, is that the same voodoo guy from the first Child's Play? It's like, no, it's not.
some
So
voodoo.
yeah, I didn't care for the voodoo scene. I think you could probably cut that out because it never. He just explained I was trying to protect you. Other than that, why does that scene need to be in there? Other than trying to throw you for a loop. So that's a big negative on my part as far as this movie is like. Estes being in there is cool because he explains the backstory of the fisherman, but I mean, this movie could be cut down to exactly 129 instead of an hour and 40 if you just take away the whole voodoo scene and Mackay Pfeiffer's like, it's Estes, let's go kick his ass. Like, that did not need to be in there.
I'm pretty sure I saw I Always Know You Did Last Summer before.
Oof, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm looking at the thing. I think it was on TV.
I'm sorry, what the hell? On Tubi? No, but
Yeah. So, Franco, you said you had a lot of issues as well with the movie. Did you like the voodoo scene? You guys agree? Do you think it should have been cut out?
The voodoo scene. I don't remember a voodoo scene.
it's just the voodoo stuff in the background. It's not really. He didn't perform any
Oh, yeah,
magic,
okay.
but it
Okay.
just
Yeah.
props.
Yeah, I could have done without it.
I mean, it's kind of just a random filler spot, but
I was like, I didn't see no voodoo in this. What the fuck?
there's some voodoo.
What'd you guys think of the reveal when Will was like, "It's not my blood," and then he just goes completely psycho on everybody and
See, at
He's like,
the boat, I assumed it was him. Remember he hits him with the thing. I was like, oh, it's him. And then once he comes back, I'm like, man, you're gonna listen to him. Oh, y'all can leave. I got this. Me and her got this.
So we all go a little mad sometimes. No, but,
That's exactly what I was thinking.
so what are you doing? So anticlimactic what he does though. It was me all along, Austin. It's okay. But even though
Yeah,
he gets at the ending, whatever, it's like he didn't do much, unfortunately.
he kind of went out. I didn't like the way he went out either. You're talking about Will, right? He didn't do much.
Yeah. Once again, some Halloween Town 2 Calabar's Revenge type shit.
Yeah, the fisherman's like hold him up, and he runs with the hook, and Ray moves out of the way, and he kills his own son with the hook. Like, come on, man! Like, first off, you should not run with sharp objects in your hand, especially being wet and rainy, and yeah.
What?
I did like how technically they didn't shoot it in the Bahamas, but I know it was filmed on location in Mexico, and I thought at least the cinematography as far as like being shot with the wide tropical storms and the paradise feeling, I like that feeling of the movie because it definitely does stand out between the first one and this one. So
The whole setting, nah, I do like a lot better than the first one. Uh, a lot of it, just dialogue that, I mean, it's kind of it's there. A lot of
yeah,
times, I mean, I'm just kind of focusing on, oh look, it's Jennifer Love Hewitt again on screen.
they sold her a lot in this movie when it came to just showing her. They were definitely trying to sell her screenshots in this movie, like whether it be trailers, like trailer shots, or just like magazine. Because back in the day, you would get a lot of shots of movies and magazines to try to get you to go to the movies, or they relied big on the trailers or newspaper articles. Like almost every scene she was in, once they got to the island, she was just like wearing absolutely teasing items in the movie. Like whether she was getting out of the shower and wearing the robe that was completely see through, or the jacuzzi scene, or like you said, the tanning booth scene.
They vamped it up.
They really amped it up, yeah. So um, we're all horror movie fans. Like I don't think that bothers any of us because there's definitely a lot more horror movies out there that just completely throw almost almost softcore stuff at you, like Friday the 13th, 2009. That was
Oh
almost like
shit.
a yeah, that was almost like a complete rated M for mature movie. If you guys remember that,
When I hear, I mean, a lot of people, I think they're coming around to liking it or whatever. I see people that are liking it. I was like, are we sure that's not just say whole scene?
yeah. Like nowadays, I don't think you guys need stuff like that in movies to get your point across. What do you guys think? You think that's just like completely 10 years ago, or it's not really obviously sex sells, but
Sex always sells to the end of time, unfortunately. But that's pretty much I mean, I would say with that whole movie that was lean towards more.
yeah. So uh, Ray gets the gun, shoots, kills the fisherman. He falls into Julie's grave. Um, you're kind of it. Your survivors are Brandy, Jennifer Love Hewitt, and Ray. And then the ending finishes off on a dream almost. He's underneath her bed, drags her. Obviously, it's a dream, or is it? Um, what were some of your biggest issues with the movie, Franco? Was it just like not entertaining at all, or yeah,
Yeah, I just wasn't into it. Hey, I know I love slashers, but it's just if you don't have a kill scene within like the first couple minutes, I'm not. Unless you're a classic that I enjoy, like Scream or something.
That's true. When was the first kill scene? Was the guy in the truck, right? Was that like almost 15 minutes into the movie?
I think so. Yeah.
Almost kind of like the first one too, and like you said,
I
you
was
didn't.
I was never like a big fan of the first one, regardless either. Like the fisherman hook, that's cool, but like I guess the whole movie, it was never my classic cup of tea.
That's true. I just noticed that when you said both movies didn't open up with like a your classic slasher, somebody's getting it. Now in the first one, I think it would have gave it away, but I think it would have been pretty cool. Nick, you seen the first one where the boy in the overalls, if you saw him die automatically from somebody, you don't have to show the fisherman. But I think that would have been cool opening to see him die, don't you think? You don't see nothing happen to him. Same so but yeah. Uh
It was a real slow start. I think once you get into it, once you get into the Bahamas and everything, then it picks up. But it's just it really lost me within the first half.
Just the older Formula movies. New movies, I don't know.
not that many taglines in this. The tagline for this one is "Some secrets will haunt you forever." I would most tanning beds will haunt you forever. That's really the only one I have for it.
Tanny beds. Well, I know what you did last. I still know what you did last summer, but on an island. That's
Yeah, not very fun taglines for this movie.
first way. No,
What's
Um,
the capital of Brazil?
yeah, what is the capital of Brazil?
was they Brazilian or something?
Decaf. That would have been funny if she said decaf and she got it. Because wasn't she reading the back of a coffee thing? I think she was reading the back of a coffee like package when she read out that answer. What's the capital of Brazil? Brazil? Decaf.
Oh, nah, can't do it nowadays because just look up anything on the internet.
Yeah.
They don't even do giveaways anymore
Yeah.
on the phone.
So.
What's that? What famous TikToker reached millions first?
I don't even know a famous TikToker.
Bella Porch. That's all I know.
SS Sniper Wolf, but that's just because my daughter watches her games.
I was like, that's a YouTuber.
Oh, my bad. So she, at least you know who her. I don't. Yeah, I didn't know who she was. Favorite scene? Do you guys have a favorite scene from this horror sequel?
What
The
was
end credits.
tiny bit?
The ending credits. I did say to somebody I was watching the movie with, I was like, that teddy bear's in their bedroom. That teddy bear has seen some shit, boy.
Mm.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
I know Nick's favorite scene is the Freddie Prinze Jr. using that electronic toothbrush.
That was very satisfying. So what's going on? It's really into that.
If I had to pick some real quick, honestly, Jack Black's death was pretty cool. I like the death of Ray's friend getting pulled and ripped out of the truck. We didn't talk about Mekhi Phifer's death, but I think his death was really cool. Getting the hook in the back of the throat. So yeah. What about you, Nick?
Honestly, I think it was Mekhi Phifer seeing it. It is just the way the hook back of his throat, right? And then he gets flung to on top of like a stove or something.
Oh shit.
Adding insults to injury right there.
No, because he's talking about how hungry he was.
Yeah, just the whole him leading up. He's Wednesday, I'm tired. I'm hungry. Like I said, we're hungry. Then he's like, he ends it by saying horny as well or something like that. So yeah,
Yeah, he did.
none of those guys were getting any.
Yeah, that's true.
Blue Ball Island.
Now that's funny. That's a tagline right there, boy.
That's that segment.
So, but yeah, those are pretty fun scenes. Franco, did you want to add a scene, or end credits was your favorite?
Anchor's my favorite. Kill scene, probably Jack Black.
It's a pretty fun scene. How
That's
many
my favorite
Dan?
part about the movie?
The Jack Black death scene.
No, him in general. All the scenes he was in, he was my favorite part.
Just to add on top of that, Jennifer Love Hewitt was my favorite part of the movie.
Oh yeah, the karaoke scene too is my favorite. Star rating or Machete Danny Trejo rating. I'll go first. I give the original one a 3. I think this one is just as decent. I'll give this one a 3 as well. I just grew up on them. They're fun for me. To me, these are always like good movies to watch around the 4th of July. So there's not too many to choose from. Jaws, Born on the 4th of July, Independence Day. But yeah, I enjoy watching these every summer. So 3 for me. But I'm gonna be realistic. I'm not gonna say it's a 5. So Franco,
I'm gonna give it a 1.
Juan,
1.
Nick,
I'm gonna meet you right there. 1, 3,
3. So
for the obvious reasons.
obvious.
Hmm.
Next Wednesday, July 3rd, we will not put out an episode. We have some birthdays and the holidays to celebrate, so we will take the week off. But next up, Wednesday, July 10th, 8 p.m., Scream 6. I cannot wait. I think this is going to be a fun rewatch. It'll be fun to talk about just Scream in general.
Well, we're going to a real slasher.
Real slasher. I got to see this in the theater. I know you guys did as well. So yeah, I think this is going to be a fun rewatch and a fun conversation. I can't wait. 2 weeks from tonight, Wednesday, July 10th. So we'll talk the whole lore of Scream 6, what could have happened, what was expected, and what are the plans maybe for Scream 7, which has a release date, I think, of next year or the year after. So other than that, guys, Franco, we can start with you. Any plans this weekend, or what do you got going on this weekend?
I got 2 shows this weekend. One's in Corpus in town for GCWA. I think we're live on Title Match Friday 7 p.m. And then Saturday I'll be traveling to the great city of Austin with Nick over here for Uncanny, which will be my our debut at Uncanny Attractions. I think it's Just Gay is what's called. They got killer lineup with they got Brick Savage. That's all you need to know. Be there. They got Brick Savage.
Man, I'm jealous right now. You guys could go to the great city of Austin, Texas, college town. 2 days are going on down there. College, I think I said that already. You got college girls around you. Man,
It was Austin College.
I'm excited.
Yeah, I had Brick Savage and I lost.
I want to go.
Get bricked up.
Man, how fun. I hope you guys have fun down there, man. Nick, what about you?
You should come.
Yeah, don't. I'm tempted.
Do it.
It's only like a 5-hour drive for you. 10-hour drive.
Oh, Austin? Yeah, it's like 9 hours.
It's 9 hours. Damn.
Yeah.
Mm.
But is that a Sunday show or a Saturday show?
It's a Saturday. You off?
And I don't have the kids this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
I need to GoFundMe if you guys can get me to Austin with these guys so I can get some gas, buddy.
Man, gas is expensive right now too.
Yeah, it is.
It's been going up.
Nick, what about you?
If you like to donate in these hard times, get this man. It's awesome.
Hard times, Daddy.
Hard times be better, man.
I will pull a Dusty Rhodes promo right now.
For me, of course, Saturday be in Austin, but the night before that I'll be in Austin again. But not for a wrestling show, for a concert.
Oh, cool. Who you gonna go see?
You?
Oh,
No, a band called Say Anything.
nice. So there's a little weekend in Austin. How far is Austin from you guys?
It's a 3-hour drive or so.
Oh man, lucky. Yeah. So other than me having the Austin Blues and not being with these guys this weekend, tomorrow I'm on this YouTube channel. I'll be talking Backlash 2002, live from Kansas City. The guy I'm talking to it with, he was there live, so that'll be pretty fun. Retrospect conversation about Backlash.
It's only 5.5 from you, Juan.
Is it?
Yeah.
I thought it was 9. Maybe that's San Antonio I'm thinking of.
No, you're Corpus, where we are. It's a 9-hour drive to where you are.
Oh, so you guys are deeper than Austin.
Yeah, we're in. The people know we're in Corpus.
Oh man.
Deeper.
Oh, even then, we're actually 8.5 from you.
Oh
It's a 5.5-hour drive, man.
man.
Mm.
Where's that Cash App promo thing? I'm gonna if you guys can donate. And then Sunday, I'm excited. I'm talking Godzilla -1 on the podcast this Sunday, June 30th. It's our last episode of the month. Again, go check it out. It's on Netflix, Godzilla -1. We'll have a conversation this Sunday about it. So it's our last Sunday episode. In July, we're going to be moving to Tuesdays, starting Tuesday, July the 2nd. So we'll have 2 episodes in 3 days. So, but yeah, other than that, guys, I think that might be it. Unless there's anything else you guys want to add.
I got nothing.
No. Remember, you can listen to this episode wherever you listen to podcasts at. Thank you for watching. We will see you guys from this show 2 weeks from today, July 10th, for Scream 6. 2 weeks. You guys have a good weekend.
Say ultra.
Peace, love tacos.
Blue Ball Island.